Hi, this is Ashley Victoria Robinson coming to you from the Pop Spot here at BookCon, and I am here with the woman behind the universes that have broken our heart and defined so many of our adolescences, Veronica Roth! How has your BookCon been so far?
Pretty exciting.
Yeah. I have questions.
I'm sure you do.
In your panel, you talked about how Fever in Seek the Traitor's Son is worshipped as part of a sunk cost fallacy. Yeah. And you said, and I quote, "Because this cost me so much, it must mean something." How did all of that spring out of your observations of COVID?
I think it was more about the grief of COVID, because even though we haven't processed it that much, like it's not just the losses of life that we've grieved, but it's a whole, it was a paradigm shift in a lot of ways. A lot of things closed, a lot of things changed forever. And so I think I was considering that you can either process the grief, or you can decide that the grief has to mean something much bigger, and that it can't have been a waste, right? So that's how a religion forms, right? At least in this book.
Wow, heavy and very, very smart answer that I was not emotionally prepared for. I'm like, I'm gonna have to think about this for the next little while. This must have been what you did to everyone on the panel.
Yes, it was like that a little bit. I was like, I swear this book is fun. It also has some other stuff going on.
Wait, okay, now, if you swear it's fun, tell me what's fun about it.
There's a magical glowing plant that facilitates an astral projection across universes.
That is fun.
Yeah, there's romance, there's banter, there's crazy capers, there's all kinds of stuff going on.
Everything in balance, right? Everything in moderation, including moderation.
You need the high and the low.
Yeah. In the panel, we talked a little bit about this before the camera started running. You made a pretty big announcement.
I did.
And you had a pretty big catharsis.
I did.
Can you tell a version of that again for all of our lovely friends?
Yeah, so I announced that there will be a new Divergent series. Yes, so it's not a sequel. I want to be clear about this. It's not a sequel, and it's not a prequel, and it's not a different character's point of view, and it is not a rewrite of the end of Allegiant, but it is an alternate universe story where the main character, Triss, chooses a faction other than Dauntless, which is what she chooses in the original series. So it takes that choice and just explores the aftermath.
And when you released it, when you announced this, you said that you had emotional reaction.
I did, because I started talking about this book 3 years ago, and I've been keeping it very secret.
For so many reasons and so many multimedias that we can't possibly imagine.
Yes, and I think the moment so there was a giant book, right? Yeah. So we pulled the tarp down, and I was like, oh, the moment is here. It's right now. And I just burst into tears. Yeah.
I just think that's so beautiful.
Yeah, I am a bit of a crier, so it shouldn't have been a surprise.
But was it a surprise to you?
Yes, because I'm very professional,
Professional lady, professional author.
That's right.
In the panel, you talked about how part of writing The Sixth Faction was you reclaiming the joy of writing the Divergent series. I can't imagine why that would be loaded or why you would possibly need to reclaim the joy. But without spoiling anything, are there specific moments that stand out to you as in this scene or with this line, I successfully reclaimed my joy?
A lot of it happened in the second installment of The Sixth Faction, which is finished. So, it comes out next February, I think. But I think because Insurgent and Allegiant were the hardest for me to write. Divergent was so much fun because no one was looking at it,
Yeah.
And Insurgent and Allegiant were hard, and I think being able to write that story in a new way and to feel like I'm my grown-up self who is better at writing books now, I just felt like, this is how I wish I'd been able to do it at the time. Yeah.
How has your writing process evolved in the 5 years since you first started writing Divergent?
5 whole years. Oh my God.
Crispy, 21 years old.
Yes. Still only 26. How has it evolved? Yeah, I don't know. I learned a lot from that series. I don't want to understate that. I learned how to structure a series, and I learned about how to balance world building and plot with the character development, and how to create a foundation that people feel like they can trust in world building. And so I think I'm the same writer. My priorities are the same. They're emotional complexity is my highest priority. But I think I'm better at the things that I've shored up some weaknesses, and I'm still good at the things I was good at the start. So yeah, I feel good about where I'm at.
You talk about emotional complexities being your highest priorities. How do you approach that on the page? Does every character get their own Google Doc that's a breakdown of all of their pluses and minuses?
No, I don't have any extra documents. This is like, some authors are like, they have a whole encyclopedia. That is not me.
Yeah.
But I just try to build it, into every interaction that they have with each other. And I think in sci-fi fantasy, you can kind of use your science fiction and fantasy conceits to facilitate like emotional connection. So in this book, in Seek the Traitor's Son, the characters are able to like participate in a memory sharing ritual, so you can like literally see what someone has been through.
Of you.
Yes,
I love that.
I love that stuff. Like when you just think of like a fantasy way of like getting to know someone in like a really deep way, and I really love that stuff.
And that must be such a sense of intimacy as well.
Yes,
to crawl around in someone's head.
I know, and it's something we can't even imagine, because like as close as you get to someone, you can't do that because that does not exist yet. I know, in the future.
Is that horrifying or is that amazing?
I don't know. Sure, it's both. We'll find out.
Why not both?
Yeah.
Obviously, I think when most people think of you, Divergent is the thing that comes most to the forefront because of adaptation, et cetera, et cetera. So when you are setting out to write other stories, build other worlds, like carve the mark is the thing that I always keep thinking of. How do you set about making sure that you're doing something completely different and completely unique?
I don't think I put that much pressure on myself to like magically become.
I love that.
I'm not gonna am I gonna have a Florence Nightingale style scene where someone sexily doctors up someone else's wounds? Yes, I am, and I probably will have an arena fight too, because I just like love the things I love. And, I think but I don't get interested in projects if they're too similar to the last thing I did. So I think I just trust that. Yeah, I'm very instinct driven. I think you'll find.
I was like, you sound like more of a pantser than a plotter.
No, I'm not, which is the weird part. But I'm like the sloppiest plotter you'll ever meet, probably.
Hey, look, any plotting is good, in my opinion.
I just need to have a plan, and then I can deviate from the plan. But I just have to know that there is an ending. Yeah.
Oh, so you're doing the anti-Lost approach. You're like, I know the ending, and that's where I'm going.
Yes, I miss the anti-Lost. I learned a lot from Lost.
Yeah. As we all did.
Yes.
Some of your books have real-world settings, Chicago, and some of them are completely unique to us. Is one more challenging than the other? Is it harder to be like, oh, I have to hit these iconic locations?
It's harder for it to be set somewhere real. Yeah. So this Seek the Traitor's Son set in Los Angeles. Then we have, of course, Divergence in Chicago, and actually two others of my books, When Among Crows and Chosen Ones, are in Chicago. And I think the pressure there is just to get things right, and you can't always visit each specific location you're describing, so you're relying a lot on your internet research and creepy Google Earth, and but you want to be true to like what it feels like to be in that place. So I think the pressure side, when you make something up, like it could be anything. So.
What is the strangest thing you've Google Earth?
When I wrote my book Poster Girl, it's set in Seattle.
I love Poster Girl, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's set in Seattle, and it was during COVID, so no one was traveling that I was writing this. So I did all the Google Earth.
So all of Seattle.
I've been to Seattle, but I don't live there, so I think that was the craziest experience. Like, sorry to Seattle people if there are any inaccuracies. I could not go there.
That's amazing and also so funny. Here in the Popverse, we celebrate the best in TV, movies, comics, and books. So what are you geeking out about that you're not working on? So I guess nothing Divergent?
What am I geeking out about that I'm not working on? I'm still watching The West Wing. So
oh my gosh, what season are we on?
I'm on season 4.
Excellent.
Season 5. And at C2E2, I met Martin Sheen and Dulé Hill.
Yep.
So now I feel especially driven to finish. I've got to know what happens.
Sorry, are you watching or rewatching?
I'm just watching for the first time.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh, you are in for so much heartbreak.
I'm excited, yeah.
Veronica Roth, thank you so much for joining us here in the Pop Spot today.
Thanks for having me.